What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Wallet Monkey channel, where we give you all the credit intel you need to grow your wallet. Today, I wanted to ask you a question and have a little conversation about hard pulls. So this was presented in the community. It was a Reddit thread that was shared, and the essence of the thread is, hey, are hard pulls actually necessary? Now, the thing I love about Reddit is that a lot of, let's call them, what would that be, Zoomers or younger demographic of people are oftentimes asking like really obvious questions that I think are oftentimes looked at as like, gosh, that's a stupid question to ask. But there's tons of gold in that. Like, they're asking questions based on the system that we all take for granted, that are older, that have lived through the system, that just, oh, that's just how this goes, or this is how this works. And it's always good to question things, because if you've been doing something for a really long time and you've never stopped to question it, it's healthy to do that. So I love that perspective, actually, how they're always asking questions about what seems like to somebody else is really basic stuff, I guess is the simplest way to put it. So I love that fresh perspective, right? Because you should always be going back and questioning and going back through things in some sort of way, right? From a personal growth standpoint and from, I guess, just like a business growth standpoint. It's healthy to do. So anyways, all that to say that I think it's a really valid question. And it's not something you hear asked very often. So I just assumed that it was, you know, a younger person that's just kind of like, you know, they're learning the credit game and they're learning all these rules, and they're just like kind of stopping and being like, yo, why does this matter? Like, what is the point of a hard pull? So let me give my take on this, right? And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So let's have a little conversation about this. So I think that as a metric to prevent bad behavior and to find the best possible person to reward credit to, it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. I think originally it was created as a metric to stop abuse. So there's a huge difference there. It's not a metric that will help you find like the perfect person to give money to and to give credit to. I don't think it works on that at all. It's just a set of, you know, bumpers for your bowling alley or your bowling lane that will give boundaries. And within that, there's different sets of standards that banks choose to apply. And the best example of this is like, okay, it's like, so those are the standards, right? And then you have someone like Chase Bank who came out and just, they came out and decided, okay, well, we're just gonna allow 5 new accounts over the last 24 months. So obviously, if you're seeking for a lot of new credit or you've gotten a lot of new credit, you're gonna have what? A ton more hard pulls on your account. You're gonna have a ton more of inquiries on your account, which means that you're already disqualified from them. So I don't think it works as an effective means. I don't think it was created for that either. I think it, like I said, it was just created to stop mass rife abuse that could have happened in the system. Because just like anything else, just like you know, unlimited stimulus checks, we had people lying, trying to get unlimited PPP money. You have people trying to abuse the welfare system. You have people, unfortunately, trying to abuse every different system that exists. So I don't think it's very effective, though, in filtering that out. And a lot of times it does more harm than good. It boxes out a lot of people that would otherwise be great candidates. So that calls into question, like, how long should a hard pull really sit on your account? Should there be an easier process to remove hard pulls? And I would say that you either shorten the amount of time, like if you wanted a true fair system, right? Then lower the amount of time that it sits on your record. So the 2 years thing is like, why? It should be like 2 months. Or just make it really easy for people to get that removed, consumers to get that removed. A phone number that you call and bang, within 24 hours it's removed. Now, thankfully, Experian has really loosened this up. You can call them and get it removed within 24 hours on non-approved accounts. So if you got approved and there's a hard pull, just leave it alone. Don't try and get it removed. A lot of times you'll cause more harm than good. But you got to understand, just to zoom out for a second, is the entire credit system itself isn't really designed to be like a fair system. It's designed to kind of teach loyalty and to teach and to reward those that are the best at essentially getting in line with the rules that they've created. So take that however you like. But the question now needs to be asked, like, okay, if you didn't have the hard pull system and inquiry model, so you could have it, by the way, let me just sidestep this. You could have it, but have it mean nothing on the credit score. That I think would be fine too. And so then everyone would just kind of change their set of standards, or leave it as it is, but change how you can interact with that. Like, the current rules are just, they don't make sense. So I would definitely agree with that. And it's just something that I guess you accept. So it's like you have to accept a certain amount of things that don't make sense, do make sense, you do like, you don't like when you're getting involved in this journey to begin with. Otherwise, don't do it. So that's why I always say, that's why I reference it as the credit game, because it really is a game. It's its own thing with its own set of rules that if you want to play this game, you have to abide by those rules. So it's just like stepping onto any other field, yeah? So the bigger macro, we've kind of expressed that. So, okay, what else, what would be a better way, or what's an alternative way? We already see that. And I'm gonna lay this out for you, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't think it's gonna be much better. I think you're not gonna like this new way a lot more than you don't like the inquiry model system. Okay, so how do we get around inquiries? You link up your bank account through Plaid, through the other third-party integration services. So not only are you opening yourself up to risk in case those get hacked, your bank accounts are now at risk, which this has already happened. It will happen again. Things get hacked. Cloud servers are not as secure as they pretend like they are. And cyber attacks are on the rise. Like that's only going to get worse as more people dump more of their personal data on the internet. So now what if so we've already got this, like I clearly stated. And so what if this was the new normal though? What if this was like rolled out as like the down the middle approach? And so what they would probably start to do is the same thing. So yes, technically you could attach or approve unlimited amounts of third-party integrations to check out your bank account to get approved for something. But then again, you would have banks come out and limit the amount of times you could get that done in the same way that they limit inquiries. So we're not changing that model in any sort of way. We're literally just, we're doing essentially the same thing, and I would argue a harder thing, and then they're gonna create their own rules around that. So if they came out and said, oh, this is the standard, we're not going to do inquiries anymore, where you're just going to, it's going to be based off of you connecting up your bank account. How many people don't have bank accounts? How many people have had negative bank accounts or accounts closed on them? How many people have bad records on check systems? That would be even worse. Do you realize that? That would be even worse for you than the current model. And the current model still allows you a lot of wiggle room. Like it's still based off of stated income and for most stuff. Trust me, you do not want this new direction we're going. So for as many people that like to complain about the inquiry path, is like, look how many people are now, look how many banks and institutions and fintechs are now requiring you to link up your bank account. You cannot lie on that. So now stated income really doesn't matter because they're gonna find out anyways. Because I gotta pull my pants down and they're gonna find out exactly what I'm working with. So yeah, I don't think this new model is better. I think it's worse for most people. Before you could get away with, it's hard, but you could get away with removing inquiries and maybe fibbing on your stated income numbers and never really having to show proof of income. They don't need proof of income anymore. If I'm gonna link up my bank account, they got me. They got the 4K receipts on me. So yeah, I call me crazy, but I think that's actually a worse model. And that's the model that we're moving towards. So careful what you wish for is always something that I say, because the inquiry model, even though it doesn't really make sense, it's like you gotta look at the ups and the downs on this thing. It's still better, easier, and I guess easier to understand than the new model that's rolling out, and easier to game. Yeah, I guess that'd be another thing to say. Easier to game. Let's be real. Than linking up your bank account, because it's like you can't lie on that. What are you going to move around money, deposit, pull out, put back in, and jump around between account and account? They're going to be able to see all that. So again, my stance on it is that the inquiry model is easier to work with. It's easier to understand, easier to game, to your advantage. So understanding a system, you start to see the different opportunities, and then you can assess the risk for yourself in terms of those opportunities. Are they worth it or not for you as an individual? Well, that's the deal with the inquiry model, right? And the same thing's gonna exist here, is it's gonna force people to have less business relationships and less personal relationships with institutions, because you're only gonna be able to spread your money out in so many different places and be able to link up your money and your account to so many places. That's where I think things are gonna go with this new model. So anyways, that's my thoughts. I'd love to hear yours. Comment below. If you want to just help us with the algorithms, hit the like button. Some sort of generic comment below would be amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this sort of thing, then hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Be on the lookout. More videos coming soon.